Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel and to the 7th video in my Fruit of the Spirit series. Today we are talking about generosity. I thought that this topic was really applicable for this time of year. It is currently Advent, and coming up to Christmas, regardless of your religion, I think people usually become more generous this time of year because it's something you're thinking of. You see all the poverty and the problems in the world, and I don't know, I think there's just like this inner need to do something that becomes heightened during this time of year, or you see it and you're like, oh, it's Christmas. So people have that kind of generous mentality. So I thought that while you're thinking about it, hopefully, we would talk about it as one of the fruits of the Spirit. So having a generous spirit. So giving of gifts and talents as well as financial. So we're going to be talking about all of that today, both sides of that and why we need both and not just one or the other. Because first of all, God asks for both from us, both what He has given us as far as like our talents and gifts go, and as far as our financial goes. Everything is a gift from God. But one of the precepts of the Catholic Church is tithing. So you will provide for the church's needs. So typically the rule of thumb on that is about 10% of your income goes towards charity. So like 5 goes towards the church and 5 goes towards whatever you want. That's a charity. It's kind of whatever you can afford. 10% is just like if you don't know how much, you can start there and see. I've tithed in the past when I've had an income. I know many people who tithe. Usually for college students, it's more of the gifts side of things and like your talents you're giving to your church than the financial things, because you're giving all your money to college and trying to get a career. Whereas I think as you get older, that shifts back. So maybe you have more money, but you're not able to do as many things. So that kind of shifts back and forth as situations change, and that's fine. But we should be conscious of how we can give in both ways. So in being generous, we are imitating God and Jesus. Jesus was generous on earth, so we are supposed to copy Jesus. So if He's generous, we're supposed to be generous. And everything that we are and everything that we have is a gift from God. So who we are, what we have, all of it, the things we own, our jobs, family, friends, all of that is gifts from God. Without Him, we would have none of it. He cannot be outdone in generosity. God is always going to be more generous than we are, because we're human. We have limitations. We're broken. We're sinners, all of us. And God is not. God is perfect. God created us. And so He cannot be outdone in generosity. So when you give away things, the things that He gave you in the first place for someone else, God works through you to give to those people. And so you're passing on the generosity, but in doing that, God will, I think, bless you, because He cannot be outdone in His generosity. That's one reason that you should be generous, is because when you're generous, generosity will eventually come back to you to bless you in some way. Maybe not the same way, maybe not in equal portions, but it will bless you. So, now, in the end, we're all going to die. That's just a part of life. We're all born and we all die. Sorry to be a little depressing today. And earthly things, we're not going to need them. They're temporary. They don't have any meaning where we're going. Regardless of where we end up, they have no meaning. And so, letting go of earthly possessions for the sake of those in need is one way to bring us closer to heaven. Now, this is not to say that giving, volunteering, giving money, any of that can buy your way into heaven. That's not a thing. But when you let go of things that hold you away from God, so if you have a different idol other than God, like it's distracting you from your relationship with God, to let go of that and focus more on Him, if that's money or whatever it is, will bring you closer to heaven. And it's just a bonus that you're being generous with it, so that's good. So that is basics of generosity. I would just encourage you all to be thinking about your generosity and the ways in which you can be generous, whether it's through talents and giving, like reading or being in the choir at your church, or if it's giving financially to your church or charity. Be praying about that, especially during this Advent season, and eventually the Christmas season. And I hope that you all have a very blessed Advent. The rest of it, we're getting there, guys. We're into our second week. And I hope that you all have been watching my Advent videos, which I have a playlist on my channel, and I'll probably post it after this video along with the previous videos in my Fruit of the Spirit series. Those playlists will be linked after this. Subscribe to my channel, like this video if you found it helpful or you enjoyed it, and then comment down below how you can give of your gifts, because I think sometimes that's harder than giving financially, just because we don't always think about our gifts. So be thinking about those things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!